Hey, good morning. It is Saturday. It's barely morning. It's like 11:45. It's almost noon on a Saturday, which means we have some college football playoff kickoff happening pretty soon here in about 15, 14 minutes now. It's Texas A&M will take on Miami. We pay attention to that one as Buckeyes fans because the Buckeyes have the winner of it. But anyway, welcome to Illegal Formation with myself, with Chad Bryan, and my buddy TK Dandridge. We're on the Inside Edge Network. As always, we're brought to you by LPV Productions. We're here on another Saturday. I have internet again, TK. I've had internet. I just
Yes,
Wi-Fi up in the studio. So a
very
little
good.
listen, don't have any tech problems over the holidays, all right? Because everything is you try to order stuff and it's like, hey, we can get it to you in 27 days. No worries. Don't worry about it. Fix your internet in almost a month. No sweat, right? Doesn't matter if you use it for work. Okay, so I found a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Probably gonna have to do something long-term, but that's beside the point. What is the point? The point is, what are we gonna talk about, TK? We got some college football playoff stuff. Alabama and Oklahoma last night. That was a pretty good game. I think a lot of people were screaming for Notre Dame when Oklahoma jumped up 17-0 on Bama. And listen, it doesn't mean that Notre Dame doesn't belong just because Bama came back and won. I still think that Notre Dame was probably the more deserving team over Alabama for that playoff spot. Whatever, doesn't matter. Alabama's in. They won a game, so everyone's gonna. Hey, it's justified. They won, right? They beat
Right.
Oklahoma. It's justified now. I
Mm.
still think Notre Dame should have been in, but that's just me. Matter of opinion. It doesn't really. I'm obviously not a Notre Dame or an Alabama fan. I don't really have anything against either of those programs. I'm not. It's whatever. I just looking at it from the outside as a completely objective. I just thought Notre Dame should have been in. 2 losses, both to playoff teams. To me, that was the difference. Whatever, the committee saw it differently. I think they're trying to strong arm Notre Dame into being in the conference. Shocking. Notre Dame's like, hey, yeah, we don't want to join a conference and make 48% of the money that we normally make. I don't know why they're so resistant, but obviously they print money in South Bend, and I don't blame them for not wanting to be in the conference. They don't need to be in the conference, right? They're their own brand. I mean, they stand strong enough
Right.
as it is. Unfortunately, it looks like the college football playoff committee is going to, like I said, maybe stronger on them a little bit and try to force that to happen. Um, I don't know. I guess whatever side of the coin you're on. I mean, what do you think? Should Notre Dame join a conference, TK? I mean, do you think that's something that should happen, or do they hold strong and just do what they've been doing?
No, I think it's been this long. You should just keep on doing what you're doing. You've been an independent for over 100 years now. There's really no reason to ruin a good streak. You see how many conferences nowadays in today's college football that are actually ruined, including our very own. None of them make any sense. A lot of them are actually quite empty. So yeah, just stay as an independent. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, conference football really is just sort of it's weird. I mean, it's really weird in college right now. It's I don't know. You've got the Pac-12 that consists of an entire 2 teams, but it's the Pac-12. You've got the Big Ten. They have 18 teams. The Big 12 used to be like this whole brand that was like, you knew Big 12 football when you saw it. It's decimated. It's just a weird mix of teams now. The SEC is still pretty competitive. Obviously, it's the SEC. It's recognizable. It's all the teams that you know. Plus Oklahoma and Texas. Speaking of the Big 12, you had some additions there. But yeah, taking Oklahoma and Texas out of the Big 12 obviously was decimating to that conference. I mean, you're left with what you have now. Yeah, so I don't see the rush for Notre Dame. I mean, I don't get why on their end, other than the college football playoff thing, I don't get why they'd feel compelled in any way to join a conference. I mean, it was just join the ACC. You're in there in basketball. Well, okay. I mean, that's fine. Basketball is a different animal. Notre Dame's not really the entity in basketball that they are in football, right? I mean, you got the 4 horsemen, Rudy, touchdown Jesus. I mean, South Bend is like a whole it's like a mecca of college football, right? That's not really that way in college basketball for Notre Dame. So I get why the affiliation there. I guess it is kind of weird. I mean, you've got some programs across the country that are like Division II in some sports, Division I. So I don't know. I mean, it's weird. I mean,
It's
who
a
cares?
mess, all of it.
Yeah, it is kind of a
It
mess.
doesn't make sense anymore.
No, it's hard to make any kind of sense of it. And listen, before we get too far into the show, I do want to say congratulations to an old college buddy of mine. Fraternity brother Corey Allen was just named the associate head coach at Toledo. So he'll be the associate head coach of the Toledo Rockets in the MAC. He was the head coach at Findlay, at University of Findlay, for 4 years. I think I don't have it right in front of me. I think he went 33-12 as the head coach there, and they just made a playoff appearance, bowed out in the first round. But yeah, I mean, huge move for him. He's been at Findlay for 20 years in some capacity as either an offensive line coach, working with the offense, whatever, head coach for 4 years. So congratulations to him. I don't know a ton about Toledo's program as far as what they've just – I know they just hired a new coach. He just made an excellent decision in hiring Coach Allen. So I think they're on the right path there. But, yeah, congratulations to my old buddy Corey Allen, man. Good to hear him doing good things and big things. Not surprised at all. Anyone – I mean, if you're watching, if you knew Corey, Coach Allen from back in the day, you knew he was going to be a leader in some capacity. So not surprised to see him having success and doing well. So congratulations to him. Thought that was pretty awesome news. I've been holding on to that for about a week or so until everything was all official to see everything, all the full announcements or whatever. But so I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, back to the college football playoffs. Oklahoma, Alabama last night. I don't know. I mean, it was a pretty good game. I don't know what you want. I mean, I saw some people celebrating earlier when Oklahoma jumped up, and I thought that was kind of funny. It's always funny to see people do that. Like, there's like 40 minutes of football left, man. I mean, what are you doing? Like, people do to the Buckeyes all the time. Like, oh, Buckeyes down 3-0. Looks like all that money, all that NIL money went to the trash. And then it's like 59-3, 10 minutes later. Calm down. Watch the game. Yeah, I swear. We used to have a section here, and sometimes it's hard to peruse the comment sections. You just don't have enough time, really. There's not enough time in the day. But sometimes I like to try to find the craziest comments that I can find online. And TK, they're always under college football posts. I mean,
right.
I don't know I don't really know what's with college football fans, but you can find the craziest stuff in the comments under a college football post. So I think that's funny. But yeah, people get off their rocker about this stuff. Like Oklahoma jumps out 17-0. Bama comes back, wins it 34-24. I thought Oklahoma's quarterback, I thought John Mateer looked pretty healthy last night for the first time. Missed a couple throws. I saw a little bit of the game early on. Didn't see the end of the game. Honestly, missed a lot of the comeback from Bama, to be honest with you. But I saw Oklahoma jump up and thought, wow, man, Oklahoma looks great. They look like they can do some things. But they're out. It's the nature of the beast. They're gone. It's Alabama moving on. They'll play Indiana, number one team in the nation, Indiana, 13-0 Indiana. Big Ten champions, the Indiana Hoosiers, right? That game will be on January 1st. They'll kick that off at 4. And as far as the second round goes, our Buckeyes will have the only New Year's Eve game. That'll kick off at 7:30 on New Year's Eve. So
that's going to be nice.
Yeah, they'll play the winner of the game that's kicking off here in about 5 to 6 minutes here. Probably a little bit later than that with pregame stuff. But Texas A&M and Miami, which is kind of an intriguing matchup for me. I don't know. It's like both of these teams somehow always are connected to Ohio State. I feel like Texas A&M always gets compared to Ohio State somehow. I don't know why. I'm not really sure why. And then Miami, you've got the obvious connection with, the national championship game, and Miami fans still think that they should have won that game. They still think the officials cost them the game, which I think is bizarre because if you're going strictly by missed calls, that game never should have gone into overtime in the first place. So
it shouldn't have.
The Buckeyes should have won. So it's funny how we turn a blind eye to some missed calls, but then other missed calls that should have even happened are the game changer, whatever. Again, it's the nature of college football fans. And listen, if it had happened to the Ohio State Buckeyes, I'm sure a lot of our fans would be looking at it the same way. We'd do the same exact thing. I'm not throwing stones.
Right, absolutely.
I've seen them do it. I saw a lot of Ohio State fans blaming, non-calls on holds last week for the loss to Indiana. Listen, I watched quite a few plays of that game where, an Ohio State offensive lineman just completely grabbed jersey and pulled it. No call. It happens on almost every single play. You can call holding. You can stop the game and throw a flag on every single offensive play and call holding on somebody. They're just not going to do it unless it's absolutely egregious or if it contributes to, the result of a play changing drastically. Probably going to get called. If it happens away from the ball and it's not a big deal, stop screenshotting these things and posting them on Facebook and go, hey, what about this holding call? We lost 59-10. If they just blow the whistle, we probably win 62-59. It's ridiculous. Stop. Stop. Your team lost. Let it go. The Buckeyes lost to Indiana. We're not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses. They just lost. They got out. Game. It's over. We're going to move on. That's all we can do. But anyway, let's get back to Miami, Texas A&M. I went off on a little rant there for some reason, but these teams are so even. I'm looking at points per game. I mean, Texas A&M scoring a little over 36 points per game. Miami's about 34. They're obviously not blowing the world apart in points per game, but I mean that's scoring enough to get it done. They moved the ball about 450, 425. Texas A&M to Miami. They both passed the ball well. Not top 10 passing offenses, but they can move the football a little bit. I don't know. They're pretty evenly matched in my mind. Miami's been a weird team to me. The loss to SMU was strange earlier in the season. They looked like they started off with a 38-7 win over Pitt. I thought they were going to be a problem. Beat North Carolina State 41-7. Just looked like this dominant Miami team. And then the loss to SMU was, like I said, a little bit confusing.
Just a little bit.
I don't know. It's just I'm looking at both teams' schedules. I mean, I don't know. Texas A&M has the loss to Texas, which Texas was a kind of a much maligned team out of the SEC. I mean, first they're garbage because they, Ohio State doesn't play anybody. Only the number 1 team in the nation. Sorry. I mean, I don't know how to schedule the number 0 team in the nation. I mean, I don't know how to get a smaller number than 1 in front of the team, but whatever. So, again, college football fans. Yeah, Texas A&M. I don't know. Who do you think? I mean, do you have a feel in this game? This is one of those games where I feel like I don't really have an idea what's going to happen. Sometimes I feel like I know who's going to win. I know what's going to like. I don't have a feel for this game at all. TK, how do you looking at it?
Well, to be quite honest with you, I'm feeling like this may be a revitalization of the U. I'm definitely going to go with Miami on this one. I do expect it to be a close game. A lot of NFL talent is on this field today. You got to think Cassius Howell, the defensive end of Texas A&M, Francis Mauigoa, one of the best tackles in the country. You think of KC Concepcion, their wide receiver at TA&M. Carson Beck, obviously the quarterback of Miami. Not to mention, there's so many players that are going to be playing on Sundays here in the future. This is going to be possibly the best game today. We talked about the other 2 games earlier. No one's really that interested in Ole Miss or Tulane or, Oregon or James Madison. I honestly thought those were weird matchups to begin with. But, for this game, I definitely want to see we're going to see fireworks, whether we want to or not. But I definitely want to see the revitalization of the U. I want to see this program come to its full circle moment and get a huge upset win at College Station Day.
Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting one, though.
It is going to be. And listen, if Miami fans are going to be insufferable online for the next, however many days until that Ohio State game. They're going to be absolutely insufferable. They're going to tell you about pass interference. They're going to talk about late flags and paid off refs. There's going to be this whole discussion. We talked about it. You know how the college football social.
Yeah, absolutely. We know how to combat that, though. We absolutely know how to combat that, so we'll be fine.
Yeah, just go handle it on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, listen. There are a couple of things that kind of bug me with the TV lineup today. Okay, Texas A&M Miami, probably the best matchup, kicks off at noon. Okay, fine. That would be a great way to start things off. If you had like Georgia, Alabama later, Ohio State, Michigan in the playoffs, something crazy, right? But no, then we move on to, like you said, Ole Miss and Tulane. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then the primetime game, maybe we should call it the crime time game. It's an absolute crime that this is the night game. Oregon and James Madison. What is going on? Like, why? And maybe it's fitting that they're on True TV because that used to be Court TV. No,
that should be on right now.
Yeah, Court TV. And listen, no word if, by the way, that second round Georgia game will be held on Court TV with all the issues they've had over the last few years. Hey, listen, it's weird, man. And I get it's on like not like the Prime Network. It's on TNT, True TV, whatever. But still, this is the primetime game we get tonight. Oregon and James Madison, which I guess you care about if you're an Oregon fan or if you like graduated from James Madison, because nobody's out there walking around like, with James Madison man caves, right? Like that's
there might be a couple.
There might be a couple.
But they're heading away.
Again, you're an alumnus, right? At that point, you graduated from James Madison. Like you may be in the ring of like the Circle of Fame, the Schools Hall of Fame, whatever it is. I don't know what they call it. You got to be pretty hardcore committed to a school that, otherwise, let's be honest, like probably doesn't have much of a chance to do anything here in the playoffs. Wouldn't it be fun though if they upset Oregon? I mean, I guess that'd be fun. That'd be a cool primetime game. James Madison takes down Oregon, Tulane takes down Ole Miss or something. That'd be a fun afternoon of football. I don't know. I mean, you could see some weird things out of Ole Miss with losing Lane Kiffin and having a whole new coach come in and calling the plays. I mean, you never know, right? Weird things could happen in that game. I guess it bears watching for that purpose. And listen, I'm not trying to shortchange Tulane or James Madison. They're just not quite on the same level as Ole Miss and Oregon. I mean, if we're being honest, they're just not there. No slight, no shade intended. It is what it is. Anyway, that Ole Miss Tulane winner will go on to face Georgia in the second round. That'll be on New Year's Day. That's the primetime game that night, the 8 p.m. game. And then Oregon, James Madison, the winner there will go on to take on Texas Tech. I don't know. That's the noon game on January 1st. So it'll be a fun lineup of New Year's Eve and New Year's Day college football again. Listen, I love the 12-team playoff. I wouldn't mind it if it were 16.
Yeah.
Just to have that one more. This is fun, man. I love waking up, on New Year's Day and having the idea of not only, having watched my team the night before, whether they've won or lost. I'm not going to let it ruin my holiday. But, man, you've got 3 more playoff games to watch still. And usually, I mean, any meaningful college football, it's over by now. We're just getting into this, like, whole playoffs. It's the second year of it. I love it. I know some people think it's too much. Some people think the last couple of seeds maybe don't have a shot. Whatever. Maybe they don't. But this is akin to the argument where I don't know if the OHSAA they shrunk down their regions for high school football playoffs, right? People were so mad at these teams that were 2-8 and 3-7 get into the playoffs. Why should they be rewarded? Maybe the question is, why are you so mad that kids get to suit up one more time? And some of these kids are going to go on. They're not going to play college football, right? They're never going to wear a helmet again. I don't see the problem with letting them get one more game. I mean, listen, college kids are still kids. I know we're obsessed with making people adults as soon as they turn 18, even though your brain isn't fully formed until you're well into your 30s. We know that. That's science. That is a fact. That's not debatable. That's absolute scientific fact. Again, these are kids, man. What's wrong with letting them suit up for one more meaningful game? Just to step on the field with that, that brotherhood, man. That's when you play a team sport, you know how it is, man. In the locker room, in the clubhouse, whatever it is, just that idea of going out there together and battling. I think that's pretty cool. So I don't see the problem with it, but whatever. I wouldn't mind it if it were 16 teams. Really wouldn't mind. You know what I mean? Like, let's just get the top 25 involved. Let's get somebody. We'll have a play-in game. I don't know. We'll figure something out. I mean, I was going to ask you which of these games intrigues you the most, but it's pretty obvious looking at the lineup that it's going to be Texas A&M Miami. It's going to be the only one worth watching. We're actually missing it right now, but
they haven't started yet. They're still in the midst of the pregame hoo-ha. They still got the band on the field.
Oh yeah,
and everybody's standing. So it hasn't started yet.
Hey, we've seen them play football on the field before. That didn't stop them back in the day, right?
That was hilarious.
That was hilarious. Like the most iconic college football videos of all time. That's crazy.
I will never forget that play.
Yeah, that was wild. That's a cool. I remember growing up. That was like one of my. I was like, this really happened. Like, it didn't even seem real to me. I'm like, this doesn't even. How does this happen? Oh, what else we got going on? So Jake Paul last night. He did a thing. He fought probably. I don't know. Maybe bit off a little more than he could chew with Anthony Joshua, And hey, listen, he went 6 rounds, right? He went into the 6th round. Unfortunately, he did get knocked out. TK, I think he broke his jaw. I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch the fight, but I watched that right hand, and I am assuming there were some shots that led up to that point that probably, I'm sure it contributed to putting Paul on the canvas, but that right hand would have been enough, I think, alone. Maybe if he connected that in the first round, that might have been curtains. That was a good one. Yeah. And you could see Paul's face when he hit the deck, man. He went down. He was like, "Whoa!" Like you could physically see him react to it. I don't know, man. Is that pretty much what you expected? Did you watch the fight?
I did not watch the fight. Everybody's freaking out over it on social media. They got their jokes and their memes ready, hot and ready to go.
Right.
So I was able to get informed quite early. But I seen that final punch that Joshua threw, and I'm just like, my goodness. It was only going to be a matter of time before he ran into a real boxer who really did this for a living, and he was going to take an L. Much respect to him for going in the ring and taking the fight anyway. Like you said, he did go 6 rounds. It wasn't a complete, diabolical ass whooping. But what did concur at the end of the night was Jake Paul getting drubbed out in half of a fight. So, I do believe that he will continue to try to get his name up, and he'll, find somebody else who's willing to take on the challenge. But, this is definitely a lesson for him. You might have to turn it up a notch. Granted, we all know that he does train. He does take this very seriously. It's hard to see him in that light, but, he's been doing it for so long. This has to have some type of meaning to him. But yeah, just, back to the drawing board, figure out what went wrong, and, hope this doesn't repeat.
Yeah. Well, I think one major thing that went wrong was a right hand directly to the jaw. I mean, that's something you wanted to try to avoid. But yeah, I think he was just getting tired at that point. I mean, it looked like he just couldn't even lift his hands anymore. Just kind of watching that section of the fight, just watching that over and over again this morning before the show. I don't know. It just listen. I'm not here to shortchange him. There's a lot of people out there on social media that'll make the jokes, like you said, people posting memes and gifs and whatever else making fun of him that wouldn't have 10% of the guts that it takes to climb into the ring with any of these guys that he's gotten into the ring with. So it's hard to really give him a hard time. Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. I mean, if you think that's easy to go out there and take those punches from these guys, then I mean, hey, you're more than welcome to go set it up. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of guys that would love the target. I mean, you don't have to have Jake Paul millions of dollars to get some of these guys into the ring, man. Just, ask them if you really want to try it out. Reach out and do it. I'm not going to sit here and disparage him. He obviously took a big right hand and got knocked out and took the L. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. You get into the ring. I think you have the guts to get into the ring, and that's a possible outcome, right? You could lose the fight. So I think if he didn't take it seriously, he would have taken his first 4 or 5 or however many wins and said, "Hey, look, I did a thing. I was a boxer," right? And he just would have gone back to YouTubing. But he's obviously taking this seriously. He's been training for a long time. I think you got to give him respect. I mean, I don't think he's going to go down as one of the top, 50 fighters of our era or anything. But
no, God, no.
Either am I. So I mean, who am I to throw stones? It's whatever. I think it's pretty cool. Whatever. I just didn't get a chance to see it last night. Just had too much going on. I've been a little under the weather, so I told you I passed out last night pretty early and slept for a long time. It is what it is. Sometimes you gotta get sleep.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into some of the NFL stuff tomorrow on the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland Browns and NFL pregame show. We'll see you at 11 for that. But we do want to talk about a little bit Thursday night matchup this week. Man, Seattle and LA, man, the Seahawks and Rams, 38-37. Seahawks winning in overtime. Matthew Stafford threw for 457 yards in this one.
That was crazy. Vintage Matthew Stafford performance that night.
How about Puka Nacua for 225 too? I mean, receiving that's.
He might be the best receiver in the NFL. It's either him or Jackson Smith-Njigba right now. Jamar Chase is having a decent year. Mm-hmm. Justin Jefferson has been silent this year to his standards. Only 66 catches for 832 yards and 2 touchdowns so far this season. But Yeah, the way the receiver duel between Jackson Smith and Jigba and Puka Nakua was absolute cinema Thursday night. Too bad that was one of the worst officiated games I had ever seen in my life. The big one was the 2-point conversion. I had never seen anything like it. Whether it was a backwards pass or not, the first thing that the ball hit after Sam Darnold had released it was Jared Verse's helmet and went directly onto the ground. So at that point in time, you're thinking, as did all 22 men on the field, including Zach Charbonnet, who recovered the ball in the end zone for the successful 2-point conversion, thought the play was dead. Because never had I seen a pass get knocked down, roll on the ground for 3 seconds, get picked up, and get reviewed as an advancement of a play. Like, I've never seen that before. Not on a regular play, not a 2-point play, not a touchdown, nothing like that. That was probably the wildest thing I had ever seen. In a way, I thought this was them trying to even the playing field and making up for that horrible Kobe Parkinson touchdown catch, so-called touchdown catch against the Detroit Lions during Sunday's game. It was just really strange. That fourth quarter alone was a wild ride. Obviously, the Rams had a 16-point lead 30-14. Seahawks come back to tie it. Obviously, Harrison Mevis misses the 48-yarder with 3 minutes left. You go to overtime. So, yeah, just a crazy game all around. Definitely game of the year nominee, but yeah, it kind of stunk a little bit out in Seattle that night. Just a tad.
Well, yeah, I think Puka Nakua would agree with you. I think he went out right away and let his feelings be known about some of the officiating in that game. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Fun, I guess, entertaining game in the NFL. Just, I don't know. What was I going to say? I had a point. I thought you said something that sparked the thought, and now it's gone. That's what happens when you get old, TK. Don't get old. Don't do it. It's overrated. Overrated. We got a couple games today. This is the time of year where Saturday. I'm just gonna move on. This is the time of the year where Saturday games pop up, and I actually forgot until you reminded me just before the show. Philadelphia at Washington today, and Green Bay at Chicago. Man, you know what? Let's go. Let's do a little mini around the NFL. Why not? We could do that, can't we? We're allowed to do that. Yeah, let's do a little mini around the NFL. I wish I had the graphic for you, man, but that's okay. No around the NFL.
Not today.
Not today.
We'll be all right.
Cars in the garage. Yeah, we gotta clean out the driveway before we can get the car out. That's a little, it's a little convertible. We can't get that thing out. By the way, what's the weather doing this week, TK? I just, since I said snow, it made me think of the weather. About 3 days ago, it was 14 degrees, and then 2 days ago it was like 55. Yesterday, I think it was like 12. I have what are you supposed to do? Like, no wonder I'm sick right now, right?
There's really nothing you can do. This is that time of the year where the weather just doesn't know exactly what it wants to do. It's always right before winter starts where we get the big mix of all 4 seasons. At the same time, and But right now it's currently 33 and getting warmer. Check this morning. At around 9, it started off at about 24 degrees. So,
okay,
right. Starting to heat up a little bit. Yeah.
But my kids want a white Christmas. I don't think we're going to get that, are we? We're going to have a green, muddy Christmas. Yeah, I thought so.
No, I think it's going to rain on Thursday. So that's
what's great about that is we put in not 2 months. We put in over a month of hard work, right? Of snow and ice. I had snow in my yard from Thanksgiving until just a couple of days ago when it got into the 50s that never melted, never went away. And now for Christmas, when you want it to be snowy and white outside, it's going to be green and muddy.
Muddy everywhere.
I mean, it's been a rough winter, TK, and it's not even winter yet. Tomorrow, right?
Not right.
Oh, well, whatever. There we are. Northeast Ohio. This is what you get. Anyway, let's get out of Northeast Ohio. Let's go to Washington, where the Eagles are going to take on the Commanders. Right now, the Eagles are a 7-point favorite on the road at well, I'm looking at ticket prices. They're not as low as any of the Browns games. So, although you've got tickets going to New Orleans for about $14 right now. Yeah, the Cleveland. Listen, the Browns tickets are actually respectable. And I think that's because they're playing the Bills. They're actually playing a decent football team. Anyway,
traveling from Buffalo to Cleveland this weekend.
Oh yeah, it's a quick. Yeah, it's not a bad ride at all. A cousin of mine actually played. She played soccer at Buffalo, and
okay.
About just an easy drive, there and back or whatever. So she was home a lot when she was in school. So yeah, I would imagine we're going to see some red, white, and blue in that stadium on Sunday because the orange and brown isn't showing up anymore. We've seen some empty seats the last couple of weeks.
It's cold.
I can't blame people. Yeah, I mean, listen. Why do you want to go spend a cold Sunday afternoon watching that, right?
Cold.
No one is going to be standing in front of somebody later going, "We got to be better. We got to be better. We got to be better." We know that. Anyway, Philadelphia and Washington. I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about this game? I feel like Philadelphia's going to go in here and handle their business, don't you?
I absolutely do. Granted, Washington is always going to put up a fight regardless of who's out there. You got to give Dan Quinn and his coaching staff a lot of credit for being able to coax out as much juice from the remains of this roster as they possibly can, as they have as the season has gone through. But at the same time, the Philadelphia Eagles have been jerking around with this division lead for the better part of this season.
Because they're not that good, TK. They're not good.
They're really not. They're really not. But they need to just go ahead and put a stamp on this. Go ahead, win this game, finish off the season, clinch your division win, and let's just move on with this. They've been goofing off all year long with this division lead. We actually thought that the Dallas Cowboys had a chance of stealing the division away from them, especially when they beat them out in Jerry World not too long ago, 24-21. But yeah, they just need to go ahead and just finish this off.
Yeah, I mean, that game's going to kick off at 5:00. Like I said, I love this time of year where there's Saturday, and normally this would be all you could watch, right? That's what college football playoffs on. Like, this time of year used to be really bad for sports. Like I after the Ohio State Michigan game, I mean, you've got it's like the Army Navy game. And then I remember as a kid, like watching like the Kelly Blue Gray Classic or whatever, which I guess that's cool, but it just didn't mean anything to me. I was like, whatever. I mean, there's nobody's really trying to win this game. So yeah, there's college football playoffs on. There's meaningful NFL football on. I mean, not if you're in Cleveland. There's no meaningful NFL football in December. I mean, not if you're a Browns fan. That's ridiculous. But if you just like the NFL in general, then you can see some meaningful NFL football today, which is kind of cool. Green Bay at Chicago is the late game, 8:20. Both those games are on Fox, by the way. So Fox doubleheader. It's at Soldier Field, which I still have a real problem calling Soldier Field because it's not the Soldier Field, but whatever, it's Soldier Field.
Right.
Bears are a 1.5-point favorite at home in that game. We just saw the Bears here last week. And by the way, before we get out of here, I want to talk a little bit of Shedeur Sanders with you because I know their numbers were bad against the Bears. 3 interceptions is pretty bad. Maybe I'm in the wrong camp, but I didn't think he played that badly. I didn't think it was that bad. We'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, Packers-Bears. I don't know. I mean, it's like I said, 1.5-point favorite. The Bears at home. This could go either way. I mean, TK, how you feeling on this one?
I'm going to go ahead and root for the home team. Green Bay, granted, they're still a very good football team and just about as complete as you get. They're still
I think it's at Chicago, actually. It's at Chicago.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to go with the home team, the Chicago Bears. They're still –
Green Bay. I wasn't listening. It's my bad.
You're good. The Packers are still reeling a little bit from the Micah Parsons ACL tear. They want to see what's going to happen with that edge rush unit. They want to see if Rashawn Gary is going to go ahead and step up a little bit. If some of those other guys on that roster, maybe you get Quay Walker in some type of an edge situation. I don't know if that's going to work or not. But they're going to have to cipher through these reserves that they have. To see exactly what type of pass rush they're going to have for the playoffs. I don't think it'll be the end-all, be-all, but it is definitely a big part of their repertoire, which I'm sure they lean on. And it's going to be a lot different without number one being out there. But for the Chicago Bears, I do expect them to pull this one out. Again, it's a possibility that there could be 3 NFC North teams in the playoffs. It is not for certain. The Bears definitely have a leg up, obviously being at home and being fully healthy. They have all their edge rushers, so they're fine. They go in there, go ahead and take care of business, win this game tonight. It'll be their 11th win of the year, and I think that will move them to the 5th spot, 4th or 5th spot in the AFC. No, the 5th spot, sorry, in the NFC. And they can go ahead and hopefully get a step closer to clinching a playoff spot. So, yeah, I'll take the Bears in this one.
Well, one thing we know won't happen, there won't be 3 AFC North teams in the playoffs. There won't be that.
Worst division in the league.
Man, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. For some reason, I'm trying to look at NFL.com's playoff picture, but the page won't load. It just says there's no playoff picture data yet. So
that's a lie.
Guess we don't have that. That's fine. Yeah, I don't know. For once, that's not a. I was like, is my internet down? But I'm good because we're still on. We're live, so it's not me for once. Made me have a little pit in my stomach. I was like, no, not already, man. We can't be doing this already. So yeah, I don't know. I think I think the Bears win this one. Like you said, no Micah Parsons is tough. That really felt like that was like the final blow for Green Bay's Super Bowl hopes for the season. Maybe not. I mean, they can still hold it together and make a run. They're still a good football team. We know that. It just, man, that felt like that was unfortunately that felt like a leveling blow to them. You hate to see that. You hate to see injuries, wreak havoc like that on a season, but it is what it is. I think the 53-man roster sometimes in the NFL is so limiting. I don't know how you pay more, really. I mean, a lot of these teams are, I've got guys that you've got a salary cap, you've got issues, but sometimes
you would think that they added an extra game to the schedule that maybe just a few more roster spots would open up to be able to combat that extra game, because it's like, okay, you're not going to add an extra bye week, at least not yet. There have been discussions of that, and I do expect it to happen as soon as next year.
I think if they go to 18 games, they for sure have to. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely they have to. But, I definitely thought with the extra game being added that there would be a few more allocated roster spots. Don't know why that hasn't happened yet, especially with all of the injuries. It's not just the star players now. Role players are starting to get it. You can't prepare for any of this. Everybody gets hurt in the NFL.
Yeah.
The severity of it, it's obviously going to vary. Everyone's different. But, I definitely think that was something that should have been discussed and something that should have been taken care of by now. Yeah. Especially since we've been doing this whole weird-ass 17-game schedule for this is going to be the 5th year now, 4th or 5th year, something like that. So, yeah, it's just it's very strange. And another reason why Roger Goodell shouldn't be the commissioner anymore.
Well, and with all the talk about player safety, it sure seems that, I mean, yeah, you can give guys big helmets or whatever. I don't really know what the Guardian cap does, but yeah, it feels like all of the additions are made for maximizing profit, not for maximizing safety. I mean, going with the extra games. I get it. Players probably don't love preseason games, but I mean, that's a good way to make a name for yourself if you're a young guy. Now, when we go
especially if you're undrafted.
Yeah, and now when we go to
hey, this is a gladiator sport. There is no true foolproof way to keep these guys completely safe at all times. It's just the nature of it.
And how you can't go 50% on the field, trying not to get hurt. That's definitely how you get hurt. It seems to work out every time like that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you've got you're probably going to lose another preseason game, which is going to give guys even less of a chance to make a name for themselves. So yeah, I mean, I feel like the natural progression here is to change it to maybe like 60 guys on a roster. Sometimes when you look at a team only carrying like 7 or 8 offensive linemen, that's wild to me. I mean, you look at this. Yeah, how can you And even like with shuttling guys back and forth, the practice squad to the actual roster, whatever. I mean, it still causes so many problems. So you've got to go out in free agency. I mean, the Browns a couple of years ago, when they played in their playoff game, they ran a guy out there who Baker Mayfield literally met in the locker room before the game. I mean, do you remember that?
Blake Camp. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
Remember that.
So here's a guy coming in literally off the streets to play in a playoff game. Because you can't get the roster size that you need to have these guys around for the season. And listen, I don't think it needs to be like high school football or whatever, like some Division III teams, you see like 140 guys on the sidelines. Yeah, 3 guys with the same number or whatever. We don't need that.
Right.
Need that many guys. I get it. But I mean, we could probably go to 60 or 65 pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know, change the rule, let practice squad guys dress. I don't know. I mean, you got to do something because
I would go with that. Let practice squad guys dress. Absolutely.
Yeah, just have them there.
It's going to be needed at some point. For some team, it's needed. It
shouldn't have to be a whole roster where you designate somebody, put somebody on IR, whatever, just to get a guy up from the practice squad to fill in a hole. I mean, that shouldn't need to be like a transaction during the week, right? That should just be if something happens on the fly on Sunday, hey, we got a guy in the practice squad that we feel like can go fill that hole. He's here. He's in shoulder pads. He has a helmet. Let's put him in the game. Not like, well, let's hope the situation still, if it arises next Sunday, we'll pull him up on Wednesday and we'll make it official. Like that's crazy to me. That's like the whole September call-ups, in baseball, how they used to go with the expanded rosters. Or whatever, they don't do it as much now. It's just whatever. It's just a one man more, whatever. But anyway, toward the end of the season, like you said, in the NFL, I mean, if you're not playing through some type of pain right now, you probably haven't played the first 14 or 15 weeks. I mean, these guys are banged up. It's crazy to think that you can roll through a season with 6 or 7 offensive linemen and you're going to be all right. Or 8 offensive linemen, even whatever. I mean, you see like sometimes college teams have like full rotations of guys in the trenches. You've got like, think about like Georgia for a couple of years had like 8 or 10 guys, Bama, 8 or 10, maybe 12 guys you could rotate in on the defensive line and have an entire set of fresh legs the whole game, and there was almost no drop off. Think about that in the NFL. I mean, obviously you can't have 110 guys on the roster in the NFL. I get that. But I think there are things that they can do. There are natural steps, progression that should be at least be. Maybe it's being talked about behind the scenes. I have no idea. I'm not behind the scenes in the NFL. I'm by no means an insider. But you would hope that those things are being discussed as we just continue to add games in the schedule, and then talk very, in a very hollow and empty way about player safety. I feel like that's weird.
Right. It's goofy.
Yeah,
it's extremely goofy.
So no playoff picture. I think that's funny. I don't know what's going on with NFL.com. This is like where I go for my playoff picture. I love this graphic, and they're down today. So I'm sure they're somewhere concentrating very hard on player safety. TK, I'm sure they're bigger the Guardian cap can get, so we can actually have bobbleheads on the field. Whatever. Who cares? Oh man, we got some good matchups tomorrow. We'll get to that during the pregame show. Like I said, we'll be here at 11 for that, so you can tune in. Don't miss that. It should be a pretty good show tomorrow. We'll have our buddy Ryan Mosser back. Although it was a lot of fun last week, right? I mean, I thought that was great last week. I thought
I thought AC did pretty well. AC did great filling it for Ryan.
Yeah, and just for the record, if you're watching out there, my wife really appreciated that. She was like, hey, listen, first of all, I like the female perspective, and she's like, she knows her stuff. And I was like, absolutely she does. Yeah, I agree to both of those things. I thought that was a lot of fun. So we were super, super happy that she could fill in. And not just fill in, I thought she did an excellent job.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we can work out some more crossover episodes in the future. Get some more people, get some different faces on these shows. And I know my family sometimes gets tired of looking exclusively at my face, so I assume maybe you guys do too. We'll get some different people to talk about we'll get some different perspectives in here, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Week 16, and then next week is week 17 in the NFL. We have got some Christmas Day matchups. That's going to be fun to go over. We'll talk a little bit about those. TK, maybe we'll try to get an episode in next week of Illegal Formation Reacts, just so we can get a little bit of preview. Because I I'm sure they wanted this game to mean something. This Denver Kansas City game on Christmas Day. I'm sure the NFL was like salivating at that matchup, right? Like they're like, man, that's going to be the day. Like Christmas Day, Broncos Chiefs. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be for the division. And here the Chiefs are not even going to make the playoffs.
Go ahead and flex that game to Sunday at 1:00.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What do you do? I mean,
4:25 or what have you.
I don't know. That's the primetime game on Christmas, man. That was the bell cow, Arrowhead Stadium. I mean, that was going to be the big one, but it's not going to work out that way now.
Love Gardner Minshew, but I don't think a majority of America feels the same way I do.
Yeah. Man, wild too. People celebrating Mahomes' ACL injury. I think that's crazy. Listen, you can get tired of a team winning. You can get sick of seeing a certain team, or listen, you can even get sick of seeing certain guys in certain positions. I get it. Everybody got tired of Tom Brady. But man, the level of personal hate that it takes to celebrate a guy tearing his ACL is, I don't understand that. I think that's crazy.
People are nauseating. They really are.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. If you knew, and I know a lot of people think they know, but if you knew 1% of what it took to go through what these guys go through physically, just to even prepare for a season, let alone to go through it, and then to have that, an injury like that is crushing, right? I mean, Mahomes is a young guy, right? He's been in the league a few years. It's not like, listen, you start to heal a little bit more slowly as you get older, right? I did hear, for the record, I thought this was weird. I think Adam Schefter made a big deal of Mahomes winning surgery the next day, which I'm like, well, why wouldn't you, right? Like, let's, like, as soon as we possibly can, like, if the swelling's down enough, yeah, let's have surgery the next day, because days matter, right? When you're at this point in your career, you're Patrick Mahomes. It's gonna be the difference between missing, an extra 2 games, an extra 4 games next year, or whatever. The sooner you can get back, the better. But I think it just shows you how dedicated he is, how motivated he is to get back. I don't think the Chiefs are like completely done. I don't think Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and these guys completely fall off. And, I don't think we're looking at like a Browns level 3-14 type of season next year.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
They'll find a way to come back. And listen, they know they're lacking receivers. I would imagine they'll address that issue in the offseason. They'll go out and get better. And I just think that I wouldn't be surprised at all to see, listen, you go to the Super Bowl 3 times in a row and you lose the way they do. I'm sure there's just a little bit of an emotional letdown, right? Psychological letdown. Like, maybe that's what we're dealing with this season. Maybe this is what they need. This is a kick in the butt that they needed to kind of get back into gear. So if you're a Chiefs fan, don't despair. And if you're a Chiefs hater, despair, I guess. I think they could be back next year. They could be back with a vengeance.
Right.
We'll see. I could be wrong. Maybe they're completely done. I just don't feel like that's the case. I feel like this is going to be like, late, whatever. You see the Patriots kind of fall off for a year and you go, hey, Tom Brady's done. And then he and Belichick put something together and they, whatever. They go 12-4 and come back and win the Super Bowl. And then he wins the Super Bowl.
You got to think, though. He tore his ACL very late in the year. Now, if he does come back week 1, is it safe for us to expect an Adrian Peterson type return? Not everybody can do that now.
Well,
so it's gonna come. It's gonna come a time where they're gonna have to make a decision of whether or not, hey, is it the right thing to bring light-skinned Jesus back into the fold as soon as possible, or do we let him continue his rehab through the season? Do we keep Gardner Minshew on the roster for maybe the first 4 to 6 weeks of the season and then see what LSJ has, or just throw him out there week 1? There's going to come a decision for that.
Yeah.
And hopefully they do make the right one.
Listen, I personally wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Mahomes until the second half of the season. And I guess that's where the Chiefs have to make a decision, right? Do you go out and stock up on wide receivers, or do you maybe go get a guy like, I don't know. I mean, would Jacoby Brissett consider signing in Kansas City to be the stopgap until Mahomes comes back? There's a couple of guys.
The money might have to play into that because he's playing out of his mind this year.
I know.
He's been really good. 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. 18 touchdown passes, only 6 picks.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
Trey
why I think
McBride is
he made him
easily the best
pick,
tight
man. He's
end.
out of that type of situation. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
It's just like, his career, his tendencies scream journeyman backup, right? But he's in this position where the NFL, everybody's so desperate for a franchise guy. They see him play like this. He's probably going to get franchise money. I mean, 5 years, 120 million, something like that. That's pretty expensive for a guy to just come hold the spot from Holmes until he gets back, right? But you got to think, is there a guy like that that's willing to step into a situation like Kansas City where they're fairly, you would want to say that they're established. Obviously coming off a rough year this year, but is there a guy out there that's going to be one of those top, maybe not top tier, but top half guys that can go in there and step in and get the job done until Mahomes comes back? Just be willing to be that stopgap and be the guy who gets them to, 5-3 or 4-4 or whatever until Mahomes can come back on the field, so that they're in striking distance and can still do some things. Or, do they just, I don't know, who knows? Maybe they just blow it up and do a little mini start over. But we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of decisions. Listen, they're still not in as bad of a spot as the Browns are going into the offseason, where you really don't know who your quarterback is. And I did say I want to talk about a little bit about Shedeur Sanders in that Bears game, and we could talk about that. Listen, I don't know. The Browns have so many holes, right? You've got so many offensive line questions, none really with answers, including injuries, age, you name it, contract, just the ends of you name it on that Browns offensive line. It's a question right now with somebody. And then you look at the quarterback spot. We really don't know going forward. I think we know it's not Dylan Gabriel. Listen, that experiment has to be over. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can't have a quarterback in the NFL that can't throw the ball 20 yards. I'm sorry.
Down here.
Can't do it, especially in the AFC North. You got to be able to throw the football down the field. Shedeur Sanders has proven he can do that. I know all the people who do not like Shedeur Sanders were salivating at the 3 interceptions against the Bears on Sunday. I thought there was one blatant interception that just clearly was not his fault. It was actually a really good throw. Bounced off his receiver and then got picked. So I didn't think Sanders played that poorly. I thought he threw some really nice balls in that game. I feel TK, who is a swirl of emotions over there right now. I don't know. You're a blur on my screen right now. You must be running pretty fast. And congrats to you, by the way. I'm unable to move at a speed that would make anything blur like that. So congratulations to you, man. I'm happy for you. But yeah, I feel like Sanders is starting to show some signs of things really slowing down for him. And I've said it before. I think you've got something to build around. I do not think that he's a top 5 quarterback in this league. I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. Right now, I don't even think he's a top 15 quarterback, but I think he's showing that he can develop into a quarterback that can make some plays for you. And if we put anything at all around him, just in a sense of an offensive line, wide receivers, we've got a couple of tight ends. I'm not sure really what's going on with Njoku. I know he's had the knee injury that's kind of slowed him down. He seems to be, unfortunately, maybe on the backside on that, maybe on the downside of his career. I don't love to say that. I love David Njoku. I think he's a great, he seems like a great dude. I just don't see the production or the productivity coming from him at this point. You got to do something with the wide receiver room. You've got questions there. I don't know if you go out and get a guy in free agency. Don't have a whole lot of ton of cap space, not a lot of room there, because of certain contracts that are just stuck to this team right now. But you're going to have to do something in the draft. You got to, again, offensive line questions. But I think Shedeur gives you something solid that you can build around. TK, I'm not sure if you're still there or not, but maybe if you can weigh in on this and if you're there, my guy, maybe you can tell me how you feel about Shedeur. But if I lost you, I guess, oh, there you are. Look at your back. I was just congratulating you on being so fast. You made the screen for me. I can't do that anymore. But I don't know. Do you think the Browns have something in Shedeur to kind of build around for the future, or you think that's just scrap the whole thing and start over next year, go get Fernando Mendoza, do what you got to do?
No, listen, I absolutely think we have something in Shedeur Sanders. The thing that you wanted to see most out of him was how he was going to respond after a bad performance. We understood that he played, very lackluster against the Baltimore Ravens. But at the same time, it's like, listen, we needed a full length game where everything just went to crap and he had no idea of how to get out of it. Now he has to go back to the drawing board to see how he's going to attack it later. I definitely think he's going to be fine. I definitely think he'll have a solid performance against Buffalo. I don't think much of their run defense, but still, this is obviously a playoff team, very good team that we need to be aware of. But I do think we do have something with number 12. Son of Prime is not going to come short with us. He definitely is going to prove his worth. I definitely think he can be the week one starter next year, given the chance, given the opportunity. But that all remains to be seen. But yeah, I definitely do think we have something to build on here.
Yeah, I feel more just from a football standpoint. I feel a lot more excited watching him play, under center than I did Dylan Gabriel. And it's nothing personal against Gabriel. I don't mean to, listen, the guy's a Cleveland Brown. I'm not trying to disparage anyone. I just think we've seen enough and we know physically, I just don't think he can get it done in the NFL. I could be wrong. It's really hard to assess a quarterback's skill and talent and future. It's really hard. It's not easy. And that's the reason that there are 32 teams out there that don't have franchise quarterbacks because it is difficult. Even the guys who are the best of the best at doing this swing and miss, right? Like the Browns are actually the best of the best at swinging and missing at this position. So that's fun. That's a turn on that if you're a Browns fan. But yeah, I don't know. It's not easy, right? It's not easy to assess these guys, to kind of to project, long-term future, long-term whatever at quarterback. It's just not easy. If it were easy, all 32 teams would have a franchise quarterback throwing for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns a year. And the only concern would be, trying to build a defense, right?
We don't even have one 4,000-yard passer yet this year.
No, yeah. And that's what I was gonna say. That's what's so weird about, like, I'm looking at the Thursday night game and just like, I don't know, man, like seeing all the passing yards. I mean, it just hasn't really been that kind of a season. I mean, Stafford going for 457. We haven't seen that this year in the NFL. I don't know, what reason that is. I don't know. I mean, it seems like the NFL goes up and down, right? It's like quarterbacks and receivers are really, prioritized for a few years, and then it's running backs, and then it's, quarterbacks and receivers. It's always quarterbacks. But it's it's a running back, it's a receiver, running back, the passing game, the running game. It goes back and forth. It's ebbs and flows. It's the way different defenses are built to try to stop certain things. The trend flows this way, and then a defense, you start building defenses the other way, and then the trend flows back the other way. I mean, that's just the natural. That's the way of sports, right? It's like that in every sport. But yeah, to see Matthew Stafford throw for 457 was wild, especially in just that type of a game. I don't know, whatever, a lot of fun. But we haven't seen it much in the NFL this year, so we'll see. I have some thoughts about Browns Bills that we'll get to tomorrow on the pregame show on the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland Browns and NFL pregame show. It's of course brought to you by LPV Productions. We'll be right here tomorrow morning at 11. TK, any parting thoughts before we get out of here today, man?
Me personally, I'm worried about the state of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right after another loss to the Chicago Bulls at home last night, you tend to wonder, is it time to break this team up? Darius Garland had 35 points last night, 13 of 27 shooting with 6 threes. It's starting to realize that the only time Darius can do anything of value is when 45 is not on the floor. Might be time for a split. Definitely not sure, but something I was thinking about earlier today that might happen in the future. I'm not really sure, but I can't help but to think about it.
Yeah, we're going to have to start talking Cavs soon on the show. I've been trying to avoid it until they've gotten on a run because I don't want to have one more, disappointing Cleveland professional team to talk about. But here we are. We've relied on the Cavs for a few years to be that team that's like, hey, the Guardians aren't always there. They compete, whatever. The Browns are never anywhere, right? They're 4-13, 3-14. That's where they are. But at least we have the Cavs. The Cavs can go out and they can start a season with 15, 16 straight wins. They can win their division. They can be a power in the Eastern Conference, especially with the Eastern Conference we talked about. It's wide open. Here we are. We don't know if they're even going to win 40 games at this point. I mean, they'll probably win 40 games, but I don't know. They're struggling. I mean, they're right. They're just this is not what we thought the Cavs were going to look like. I know they're dealing with injuries, but everybody said, "Hey, when Garland comes back, when Garland, that's going to change everything." And like you said, 35 last night. 6 threes. That's Darius Garland, 13 and 27 shooting. They still lose. This team has issues, and Evan Mobley has not taken that jump forward that we were promised. They haven't found a way to play together, whether it's Jared Allen, Mobley, whether it's Darius Garland and I'm sorry, what was that?
He was also out last night, Evan Mobley.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. This team isn't what we thought they would be at this point. And there's some time. They can put it together, but we're almost halfway through the season now. And TK, I'm afraid we could be just looking at the Cavs as what they are. Someone brought up a couple of trades last night. I was just listening to some radio here, local radio, and basically it was Darius Garland for Zion Williamson or Darius Garland for John Morant. And I feel like they brought up a great point. Just you're just trading you're trading your problem for somebody else's problem. I don't know that necessarily solves a problem.
It doesn't.
Those teams a different problem now, right? Like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. There's no true like fleece in the NBA. Like you're gonna have to give up something to get something. But I don't know. The Cavs just seem like they're in a hole. We'll talk about it. We'll have some guests on soon that know an infinite amount more about basketball than I do. So we'll hopefully do that soon and we can talk about that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess until tomorrow, until the pregame show, just go enjoy some college football playoffs. You got 3 games today. They may not be premier matchups. I get it. We've got Miami and Texas A&M. Looks like the first quarter is almost done there. They're scoreless still. So there, you didn't really miss anything if you're hanging out with us. Then at 3:30, Ole Miss and Tulane. And at 7:30, the timeless matchup, the classic matchup, Oregon and James Madison, 2 true blue bloods of Division I college football. Whatever. Okay, that's fine. That'll be on Court TV. I love that, man. I love that the playoffs are on True TV. That's fun. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. We will see you tomorrow on the Inside Edge Network Cleveland Browns and NFL pregame show. Our buddy Ryan Mosser will join us. It'll be the 3 of us tomorrow. We'll be back. The 3 Musketeers will ride again. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but it is tomorrow now. So we'll see you on that. TK, good show, man. I will see you tomorrow morning. Enjoy some college football. We'll talk about it in the morning before the show. And then tomorrow, I'm sorry, buddy, we got to talk about the Browns. I apologize. It is what it is. All right. Maybe they'll wear their dude wipe shootings one more time. I don't know what they're wearing. All right, we're out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Later on.